Onions are one of the most common foods in the world, yet they are also one of the most misunderstood. Almost every kitchen uses onions daily, but very few people truly understand what onions do inside the human body. Most people think onions are just for taste, aroma, or cooking flavor. The truth is far deeper. Onions are not just food. They are a biological tool that interacts directly with your blood, digestion, immunity, and even aging process. For centuries, onions have been used in traditional medicine across different cultures. Ancient Egyptians considered onions sacred. In Ayurveda, onions were used to improve circulation and digestion. Even modern science now confirms that onions contain powerful compounds that affect the body at a cellular level. Yet despite all this, onions are still treated as something ordinary, something basic, something people never question. As people grow older, especially after the age of 40, the body slowly starts changing in ways that are not immediately visible. Blood circulation becomes weaker, inflammation quietly increases, digestion slows down, immunity does not respond as fast as it once did, energy levels fluctuate. These changes do not happen overnight. They happen silently, slowly, and without pain in the beginning. This is exactly where onions play a critical role. One of the biggest challenges of aging is poor circulation. When blood does not flow efficiently, oxygen and nutrients fail to reach cells properly. This leads to fatigue, cold hands and feet, muscle weakness, and slower healing. Onions contain natural sulfur compounds that help improve blood flow by reducing thickness in the blood. These compounds help blood move more freely through veins and arteries, supporting heart health without stressing the system. Another hidden problem that increases with age is chronic low-grade inflammation. This type of inflammation does not cause immediate pain, but it damages tissues over time. It contributes to joint stiffness, weight gain, brain fog, and even heart disease. Onions are rich in antioxidants, especially quercetin, which helps neutralize inflammation inside the body. This is not a temporary effect. When onions are consumed regularly, they help calm the inflammatory response and protect cells from long-term damage. Digestion is another system that silently weakens as people age. Many adults experience bloating, gas, constipation, or discomfort after meals, but consider it normal. It is not normal. It is a sign that digestive enzymes and gut bacteria are no longer working optimally. Onions act as a natural prebiotic. They feed beneficial gut bacteria, helping restore balance in the digestive system. A healthier gut leads to better nutrient absorption, improved immunity, and even better mood regulation. There is also a common myth that onions are harsh on the stomach and should be avoided by adults. This belief comes from misunderstanding. Raw onions may cause discomfort for some people, but properly used onions actually support digestion rather than harm it. Cooking methods, portion size, and timing all matter. The problem is not the onion. The problem is how people use it. Another myth people believe is that onions lose all their benefits when cooked. This is not true. While some compounds change with heat, many beneficial sulfur compounds remain active. In fact, lightly cooked onions can be easier to digest while still providing strong health benefits. The key is balance, not elimination. Consider the story of a 52-year-old office worker who felt constantly tired despite eating regular meals. Medical tests showed no serious condition. Blood sugar was normal. Blood pressure was acceptable. Yet the fatigue persisted. After small dietary changes, including the regular use of onions in cooked meals and salads, digestion improved, energy stabilized, and bloating reduced within weeks. Nothing extreme was done. No expensive supplements were used. Just simple, consistent food habits. Onions also play a role in immune defense. As people age, their immune response becomes slower. Small infections take longer to heal. Seasonal illnesses hit harder. Onions contain natural, antimicrobial and antibacterial compounds that support the immune system. They do not replace medicine, but they strengthen the body's first line of defense, helping it respond faster and more efficiently. Stress is another silent factor that accelerates aging. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which affects blood sugar, sleep, and fat storage. Certain compounds in onions help regulate stress-related oxidative damage. While onions are not a cure for stress, they help reduce the internal damage caused by long-term stress exposure. What makes onions truly powerful is not a single benefit, but their combined effect on multiple systems at once. Blood flow, digestion, immunity, inflammation, and cellular protection all improve gradually with consistent intake. This is not dramatic or instant. It is slow, stable, and sustainable. That is exactly how real health improvement works. Most people look for complex solutions, expensive supplements, and extreme diets. They overlook the simplest tools already available to them. Onions are not a miracle. They are a foundation. When used correctly, they support the body in ways most people never realize until they remove them and feel the difference. This is only the beginning of understanding what onions truly do inside the body. Their impact goes far beyond taste and cooking. What matters is how they are used when they are consumed and what mistakes people unknowingly make that cancel their benefits. Most people consume onions daily, yet very few understand why some people benefit from them while others feel discomfort or see no change at all. The difference is not the onion itself. The difference lies in timing, preparation, and how the body processes its compounds. This is where the real truth begins. Inside every onion are sulfur-based compounds that become active when the onion is cut or crushed. These compounds interact with enzymes and create substances that directly influence blood vessels, immune cells, and digestive pathways. However, if onions are eaten incorrectly or combined with the wrong foods, these benefits can be reduced or completely blocked. One of the most overlooked factors is timing. Many people consume onions late at night in heavy meals. As digestion slows during the evening, the gut struggles to break down certain fibers and sulfur compounds efficiently. This leads to bloating, acid discomfort, or disturbed sleep. Onions are far more effective earlier in the day or during the main meal when digestive enzymes are more active. Another hidden issue is dehydration. Onions help regulate blood thickness and circulation, but without adequate water intake, these effects are limited. Many adults experience sluggish circulation not because onions are ineffective, but because their bodies lack proper hydration. When water intake is low, blood becomes thicker, inflammation increases, and the benefits of onion compounds cannot fully activate. Hormonal changes also play a major role, especially after the age of 40. Declining testosterone, estrogen imbalance, and increased insulin resistance affect how nutrients are absorbed and utilized. Onions support insulin sensitivity and help regulate blood sugar response, but only when they are part of a balanced meal. Consuming onions alongside refined carbohydrates or excessive sugar reduces their protective effect. There is also a widespread misunderstanding about raw versus cooked onions. Some people believe raw onions are always better, while others avoid them completely. The truth lies in balance. Raw onions contain higher levels of certain antioxidants, but they can irritate sensitive digestive systems. Cooked onions, on the other hand, are gentler on the stomach and still provide strong anti-inflammatory benefits. The body does not need extremes. It needs consistency. Another important factor is gut health. Onions act as prebiotics, feeding beneficial bacteria in the intestines. However, if the gut is already inflamed or imbalanced due to years of poor diet, stress, or medication use, onions alone cannot fix the problem overnight. In such cases, onions may initially cause gas or discomfort as gut bacteria adjust. This is not a sign of harm. It is a sign of adaptation. Many people give up too quickly, assuming onions are not suitable for them. In reality, the body often needs time to recalibrate. Gradual introduction, proper cooking, and correct portion size allow the digestive system to adapt and benefit fully. A common myth is that onions are only good for heart health. While their effect on circulation is significant, their influence extends much further. Onions support liver detoxification by activating enzymes that help break down toxins. As the liver becomes more efficient, energy levels stabilize and brain clarity improves. This is why many people report better focus and reduced mental fatigue when onions become a regular part of their diet. Another overlooked benefit is how onions influence bone health. Certain compounds in onions help reduce bone density loss by limiting oxidative damage in bone tissue. This is especially important for adults over 45, when bone mass naturally begins to decline. Regular onion consumption supports bone strength without placing stress on the digestive system. Consider a middle-aged woman who struggled with frequent colds and slow recovery despite taking supplements. Her immune system remained weak. When her diet was adjusted to include onions consistently in cooked meals, along with improved hydration, the frequency of illness decreased. Recovery time shortened. This was not coincidence. It was biological response. Stress also changes how the body reacts to food. Chronic stress alters gut bacteria and increases inflammation. Onions contain compounds that help reduce oxidative stress at the cellular level. While they cannot remove stress from life, they help protect the body from its internal effects. Another hidden truth is that onions work best when used consistently rather than occasionally. Eating onions once a week has little impact. Eating them daily in moderate amounts allows compounds to build up their protective effects over time. Health improvements are gradual, stable, and long-lasting when habits remain consistent. People often look for fast results. They want immediate energy, instant weight loss, or quick healing. Onions do not work that way. They work silently, supporting the body's natural systems rather than forcing change. This is why their benefits are often underestimated. The real issue is not whether onions are healthy. The real issue is whether people understand how to use them correctly. When timing, preparation, hydration, and balance are aligned, onions become one of the most effective natural foods for long-term health support. What most people never realize is that simple foods require knowledge, not avoidance. The body responds best when it is supported gently and consistently. Onions are not powerful because they are rare. They are powerful because they work with the body, not against it. In the next part, the focus shifts from understanding to action. Once the truth is clear, the next step is knowing exactly how to use onions to support daily health. Once the benefits of onions are understood, the most important question becomes how to use them correctly in daily life. Knowledge without application does not change health. The body responds to habits, not information. This is where onions move from theory into real, measurable results. The first key principle is portion control. Many people believe that more is always better, but this is not how the body works. A moderate amount of onion consumed consistently has a stronger effect than large amounts eaten occasionally. The digestive system prefers balance. Too much onion at once can overload fermentation in the gut, leading to discomfort and reducing long-term consistency. The best way to include onions is as part of regular meals rather than as a separate food. When onions are eaten with proteins, healthy fats, and fiber, their compounds are absorbed more efficiently. This combination stabilizes blood sugar, reduces inflammation, and supports sustained energy throughout the day. Onions work best when they support the meal, not dominate it. Timing plays a critical role. The human body follows a daily rhythm. Digestive strength is higher during daylight hours and weaker late at night. Consuming onions during breakfast or lunch allows the body to process sulfur compounds and fibers more effectively. Evening consumption should be lighter and preferably cooked, as raw onions at night can disturb digestion and sleep quality. Cooking methods matter more than most people realize. Light cooking activates certain beneficial compounds while reducing harshness on the stomach. Slow sautéing, steaming, or adding onions toward the middle of cooking preserves their health properties. Burning onions or frying them in excessive oil damages antioxidants and creates inflammatory byproducts. Heat should enhance, not destroy. Another important factor is chewing. Digestion begins in the mouth. Proper chewing releases enzymes that interact with onion compounds and signal the stomach to prepare for digestion. Many people eat too fast, swallowing food without adequate breakdown. This reduces nutrient absorption and increases bloating. Slowing down improves results without changing food quantity. Hydration is often ignored but deeply connected. Onions help thin the blood and improve circulation, but water is required for these processes to function. Without enough water, blood becomes thicker and inflammatory markers rise. Drinking water consistently throughout the day enhances the effectiveness of onion compounds and supports detoxification. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Including onions daily, even in small amounts, builds cumulative benefits. Blood flow improves gradually. Gut bacteria balance stabilizes. Immune response strengthens over time. These changes are subtle but meaningful. They do not shock the system. They restore it. Many adults notice changes in energy levels when onions become part of their regular diet. Afternoon fatigue reduces. Digestion feels lighter. Mental clarity improves. These changes are often attributed to other factors, but diet plays a silent role in daily performance. Onions also support metabolic health. As insulin sensitivity declines with age, blood sugar spikes become more frequent. Onion compounds help slow glucose absorption and reduce insulin resistance. This effect is most noticeable when onions replace refined carbohydrates or processed sauces in meals. For people concerned about weight gain, onions offer support without restriction. They add volume, flavor, and satiety without excessive calories. Meals feel more satisfying, reducing the urge to snack unnecessarily. Weight management becomes easier without aggressive dieting. There is also a psychological component. Simple, consistent habits build confidence. When people notice small improvements, they are more likely to maintain healthier routines. Onions become part of a broader lifestyle shift rather than a temporary fix. A common mistake is expecting immediate transformation. The body does not heal overnight. Cellular repair takes time. Inflammation reduces gradually. Gut bacteria need weeks to rebalance. Those who stay consistent experience deeper and longer-lasting benefits than those who constantly change approaches. Another overlooked aspect is quality. Fresh onions provide stronger benefits than heavily processed or pre-fried versions. Storage also matters. Onions kept in dry, cool environments maintain their compounds better than those exposed to moisture or excessive heat. Onions also interact positively with other foods. Combined with garlic, leafy greens, legumes, or lean proteins, their effects multiply. These combinations support cardiovascular health, immunity, and digestive strength. Food synergy matters. Many people believe supplements are required for serious health improvement. While supplements can be useful, they cannot replace foundational nutrition. Onions provide complex compounds that supplements cannot fully replicate. Nature works in systems, not isolates. As people age, the body becomes less forgiving. Small habits matter more. Small mistakes accumulate faster. Onions offer a simple, accessible way to support the body without stress or expense. The most important takeaway is this: onions work when they are respected as a daily habit, not treated as a cure. They support the body quietly, steadily, and effectively. The people who benefit most are those who integrate them naturally into life rather than forcing change. The next part focuses on what reduces or blocks the benefits of onions entirely. Many people unknowingly cancel the positive effects through common mistakes, food combinations, and lifestyle habits that work against their health goals. Many people include onions in their diet, but unknowingly cancel their benefits through daily habits and common mistakes. These mistakes do not cause immediate harm, which is why they often go unnoticed. Over time, however, they reduce the positive impact onions can have on digestion, circulation, immunity, and overall health. One of the most common mistakes is combining onions with highly processed foods. When onions are eaten alongside refined oils, deep-fried foods, or excessive sugar, their anti-inflammatory properties are weakened. Processed foods trigger inflammation and oxidative stress, which counteracts the protective compounds found in onions. The body becomes busy managing damage instead of benefiting from nutrition. Another frequent issue is excessive frying. High heat destroys sensitive antioxidants and sulfur compounds. Onions that are burned or cooked in overheated oil lose much of their health value and may even contribute to inflammation. The purpose of onions is to support the body, not stress it. Gentle cooking methods preserve benefits while reducing digestive irritation. Late-night consumption is another overlooked problem. Digestion slows significantly in the evening. When heavy meals containing onions are eaten close to bedtime, the body struggles to process fibers and sulfur compounds efficiently. This leads to bloating, acid discomfort, and disturbed sleep. Poor sleep then affects hormones, appetite control, and immune strength. Timing matters as much as food choice. Skipping hydration is a silent mistake. Onions support blood flow and detoxification, but without adequate water intake, these systems cannot function properly. Dehydration thickens blood, increases fatigue, and slows waste removal. Many people blame food when the real issue is insufficient water. Nutrition and hydration must work together. Another common error is inconsistency. Eating onions occasionally does not provide stable benefits. The body responds to patterns, not random intake. Some people consume onions for a few days, stop, then start again. This disrupts gut bacteria adaptation and limits long-term improvement. Consistency builds results gradually and sustainably. Portion extremes also cause problems. Eating too much onion at once can overwhelm the digestive system, especially for people with sensitive guts. This leads to gas, discomfort, and the belief that onions are harmful. In reality, the issue is quantity, not the food itself. Moderation allows the body to adjust and benefit. Stress is another factor that reduces the effectiveness of healthy foods. Chronic stress alters digestion, weakens immunity, and increases inflammation. Even the most nutritious foods cannot fully counteract constant stress signals. Onions support cellular defense, but they cannot overcome a lifestyle that keeps the nervous system in a constant state of tension. Lack of movement also plays a role. Circulation improves when the body moves. Onions support blood flow chemically, but physical inactivity limits their effect. Sitting for long hours slows circulation, increases stiffness, and reduces oxygen delivery. Nutrition and movement must work together for optimal results. There is also confusion around raw onions. Some people force themselves to eat raw onions believing they are superior, despite digestive discomfort. This creates negative associations and inconsistency. Health is not about forcing extremes. Cooked onions provide many of the same benefits while being gentler on the stomach. Comfort supports consistency. Another mistake is relying on onions to compensate for poor overall diet. Onions are supportive, not corrective. They cannot fix excessive sugar intake, chronic overeating, or nutrient deficiencies alone. Expecting one food to undo years of imbalance leads to disappointment. Onions work best as part of a broader healthy pattern. Some people also ignore individual tolerance. Every digestive system is slightly different. The goal is not perfection, but adaptation. Adjusting preparation methods and portion size allows most people to benefit without discomfort. Medication use is another factor often overlooked. Certain medications affect gut bacteria and digestion. In such cases, onions may initially cause bloating as the gut adjusts. This is temporary but requires patience. Giving up too soon prevents long-term benefit. The belief that healthy food should produce instant results is another barrier. The body heals in phases. Inflammation reduces first. Digestion stabilizes next. Energy improves gradually. Expecting dramatic changes within days leads to frustration. Sustainable health improvements are subtle at first, but meaningful over time. Another damaging habit is eating too quickly. Fast eating reduces enzyme release and proper food breakdown. Onions require adequate chewing to release beneficial compounds. Slowing down improves digestion and absorption without changing the diet itself. Sleep deprivation also reduces the body's ability to use nutrients effectively. Poor sleep increases cortisol and insulin resistance. Even the best diet struggles to compensate for lack of rest. Onions support health, but sleep allows the body to use that support. Many of these mistakes are not obvious because they do not cause immediate pain. They quietly reduce effectiveness. People assume the food is ineffective, when in reality, the environment in which the food is consumed is the problem. Understanding what to avoid is as important as knowing what to include. Removing these obstacles allows the body to respond naturally. Health improves not by adding more complexity, but by removing interference. The final part focuses on bringing everything together into a simple, realistic routine. When the right habits replace common mistakes, onions become a powerful ally in supporting long-term health, energy, and aging without stress or extremes.